You are looking at the starting line in Reno, Nevada, Rancho San Rafael Regional Park. The boys 7- and 8-year-old championships at the 2018 USATF Junior Olympic Cross Country Championships. We've got pictures. You can see the University of Nevada campus in the background, Mackey Stadium. And running toward you, they are running east to west, the 7- and 8-year-old boys underway. That snowfall is 2 days old in Reno, and with that inversion, they've got the low clouds, the cold temperature baked in. Baked, probably not the right phrase. It is 28 degrees as we speak, and you can see the crush of runners, 241 7- and 8-year-old boys. By the way, that's the smallest of all the boys groups here. This is a 2-kilometer race for the 7- and 8-year-olds. Earlier, we had the girls' race. Abigail Wallace, the winner in 8:07.6, about 30 seconds off the best for the girls. And the boys have a best time coming in of a 7:26. And you see we have a runner down and getting some help from a fellow runner. Anselmo Tolentino, competing unattached out of Colorado, a 7:26.1 is the best time in this group. The champion a year ago, Austin Carlisle, does not return from Northside Saints. It was a 7:17.63 run down in Tallahassee, Florida. A little different conditions than Tallahassee a year ago. So the youngsters have just completed about a 440-yard straight to start the race. They are again running just slightly uphill the entire course on a curve, and you see them now at the peak of the hill. And there's our two early leaders. So this is quickly shaping up. The reason, by the way, and it's not surprising, that we had that mass start and let them run uphill is for exactly this purpose, to sort the runners out. That is William Malueg from Jefferson, one of our top 3 times in the country this year. He's in the blue, number 584, and racing alongside him, 1684, that is Rowan Henry from North Idaho. Certainly used to those conditions. North Idaho, it's going to be Coeur d'Alene, Priest Lake areas, east of Spokane, Washington. And a lot of good middle distance, long distance there. You see Malueg ditching the gloves. And the sun peeking through already, which is a good sign. We expected to get the sun out today. And again, with no wind, the conditions will be a lot better. Get a great look at the course here. It'll be a variety of grass, improved dirt, so to speak. There are some areas that have been actually covered additionally. And they will periodically cross paved pathways, which will have a little bit to do with the footing. So we've taken a deep curve to the far southwest corner, and now we're making our way back up to the middle of the course. And again, you see those transitions. And the youngster from Idaho going to work. Again, that's Rowan Henry, who is separating significantly. There you see the coverage on the paved path. And we're already coming up to the 1K mark. And we're just about there now in 3:35. Again, the markers face the other way, and that's frequently the case when you see cross-country coverage from the lead vehicle. But young Mr. Henry is taking care of business here. Now he is running downhill. You can see just that little bit of a slope. The elevation at the base here, or close to the finish line, is 4,700 feet, and it's only about a 50-foot difference in elevation. If you look off to the right there, you can see the slightly higher part. And great look at the crowd here along the snow fence. And 2,700 entrants this week. And now you see the wet surface. Not too much standing water. Remember, Reno doesn't get terribly wet during the year, but this snowfall earlier in the week was wet and, of course, has stuck around. But you see the track itself is cleared. All right, now we're heading down what I like to call the flipper part of the course. If you look at the course maps, you will see every one of these races dips down to the southeast, again to the very bottom of the course. So you're looking back to the north here. That is McCarran Boulevard running along the north side of Reno. Sparks over behind a hill there. Sparks, of course, the original host of this event. This is the 5th time that JOs have been in the Reno-Sparks area. The first 2 times at the Wild Creek Golf Course starting in 1988, and then at 9-year intervals it has been right here at Rancho San Rafael. So here's the end of the flipper. So again, this is the far southeast part of the course. And there'll be a bit of an uphill run here. Meanwhile, further back in the pack, get a look at everybody else making their way. Look at the difference of the mass of this field is this far. This is back before the 1K mark, by the way. And Rowan, meanwhile, running all by himself. What a difference. This young guy out, ready to run, and he'll make his way back, really back to where those athletes are. You'll see those other runners in the background as he'll make his turn for the finish chute. So this is a gentle uphill, and this is a wider part of the course. You saw earlier, the course gets down to only about 10 feet wide. And that is, again, why they had the uphill start to thin the fields out. Although I'm pretty sure that Rowan Henry could thin it all by himself with his pace. Yeah, the winning mark last year, 7:17. And when you see him make the big left turn here, that'll be to the finish. Coming back to the top of the course, I should say the middle of the course again. And getting plenty of love here from this crowd. He has one North Idaho teammate in this race, and that is Alastair Smith. But it is all Rowan Henry. Running away with the 7- and 8-year-old boys championship. Now there you see in the background, that was the previous path the runners were on. And now here's the turn to the finish. And he's been turning over fast throughout. And here's the run to the finish line. Henry will come back to the medal, and it's all downhill. What a relief this is for the finishers. Big, wide space. Look at this crowd hanging along the snow fence. And Henry's going to come to the finish, and he will be your 7- and 8-year-old boys champion. To the line. And we'll get our first results here in a second. The interesting thing now is going to be the battle for second. And that is spacing out nicely. Just waiting for official results. It is Elias Thronson from Sacramento Elite. And Malueg is going to end up third, so he hung with the field. But it was Henry in 7:56.6. Elias Thronson, Sacramento Elite, 8:18 even. And William Malueg, Jefferson Parks and Rec, 8:22.5. Sterling White from the California Comets, fourth. Liam Potter from Race Cats, one of our biggest clubs here this week. They have 82 entrants. Potter was fifth in an 8:25. Then Balin White of the LA Jets. Ethan Byrne from the San Diego Waves, seventh. Tobias Danes, Beaverton Youth Track. In Oregon, Brooks Oliver, the Rain City Flyers from Seattle, and Eli Lesnet, we've heard that name before, in youth track from Body and Training. That rounds out your top 10. So we hope to be hearing from our winner, Rowan Henry, in just a few moments. Our Kevin Ullman will be trackside, but a dominating run by Rowan Henry, who separated right after that first uphill run. You can see the rest of the field finishing. Again, 241 entered. Rowan Henry was the regional champ. He went 7:34 back on November 17th. He was also the Inland Northwest champion at 7:52. So that 7:34 was a PR. Didn't quite get to that today, but again, more challenging conditions. And he'll be very happy with that 7:56. So he wins by 22 seconds over Thronson. Rowan Henry runs for Valley St. John St. Mary's Middle School club in the 3rd grade. Has a 6:03 mile at mile races in the age groups. And again, Rowan out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Beautiful country up there, and you lump that in with Spokane. There's some great tradition, of course, of high school running in Spokane, Washington, Meade, North Central. A lot of those schools taking their turn as track and cross-country powers. Spokane Valley was well represented at the NXN race last weekend. That is Central Valley High School in Maridale. So it is fitting we have a cold weather winner. And more of the runners coming across. By the way, there are live results available at live.athletic.net. Go to meets and you'll find the cross-country scoreboard. This is event 1826. So live.athletic.net/1826/XC-scoreboard. And those results are coming across as they hit the line. Rowan Henry, Elias Thronson, William Malueg, Sterling White, Liam Potter, Balin Wade, Ethan Byrne, Tobias Danes, Brooks Oliver, and Eli Lesnet are our top 10 7- and 8-year-old boys. Reminder of our upcoming races, 10:20 Pacific, 1:20 Eastern. We'll have the 9 and 10-year-old girls. They will reset the course for the 3 kilometers. That'll be for the 9 and 10-year-old girls and boys. The boys go at 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. And then the 11 and 12-year-old girls, 11:40 Pacific, 2:40 Eastern. 11 and 12 boys, 12:20 Pacific, 3:20 Eastern. Then we'll go to the 4K course for the 13-14 girls and boys. And the high school kids run the 5K course. That begins at 2:20 Pacific, 5:20 Eastern. So a full day in Reno. A chilly December day. But again, without the wind, much more tolerable for all these young athletes. Final finishers coming across. We have 228 across the line so far, and 241 entries. Not everybody makes it to the line.
We're ready, so you guys are ready. All right, guys, good morning. All right, if you guys...
230 across the line right now. And a few more out there, and here comes the trailing vehicle. So it looks like we're going to have 232 finishers. And I'll tell you, the course did not look terrible. I know there were little spots of water, but looks like it's been protected pretty well. There are a couple areas that had to be filled in a bit. We'll show you that a little more in our next race as everybody takes that straightaway uphill. And then after the turn, there's a couple of spots where the track was patched.
Thank you.
And also, parents, if you're out here and I pronounce your name wrong, I need you to help me fix it. There's nothing worse than having your name pronounced wrong, right? This is a no smoking area. This is a no smoking area. Please put out your cigarette.
Saw Bodie Robinson just coming in from Oak Hill. He was the runner on the right. And it looks like we have completed our group as the trailing vehicle has made it. It was chasing our group in. And then again, we will